them to have the season that they've had so far, and they have an opportunity, I think, to slowly turn it around here. They got like 5 or 6 more games, I believe, to play. So there's time for them to make that record a little bit better. But what the desk was saying was absolutely true. It's shocking to see Stockton at this point. They're a team that typically does make a late run in the season. They usually show up for playoffs. They usually show up when the season's on the line. But you got to
get there first.
You got to get there first, and that's really the question for Stockton: is what has happened. No, there's been no roster changes, and in fact, I thought they'd be getting better and better. So, every long journey starts with a small step here, and they really do have to get it going because they're much better than what they've shown.
Perhaps this game against Durham will be the step Stockton needs, or Durham will start their glorious march to the middle of the pack and hopefully an eventual playoff berth here with a win over Stockton. Gino, pot shot towards the net. Wildfire in time, make the clear. And Volts, a little bit of space to work with, but currently, Durham Lords trying to find their way out of their half, and Vitali going to clear the distance of the pitch, but where do you go from there is always the great question, and currently the ball's stuck in the Stockton corner.
There it is. Vitali.
Off the wall in time. Okay. Volts indeed. It was a close one, but they get the job done.
And I'm not sure how Vitali really missed this one. He had 92 boosts to work with, but it doesn't really matter. He took off.
Just a bad takeoff.
He took off really bad, but happy to see Volts come through. And, on the flip side of things, Durham, they haven't had a great season either. They're 3-9 currently, but we say this a lot about them. We see the potential, and B, they've had a lot of close games where it feels like they could have been ahead. Maybe they threw leads or whatever it may be. Even the beginning of the season, we felt like Durham were a pretty good team, and I think they've shown that even with the record that they've had. And for them, I think it's a big learning experience being here in CRL. They are new, and that's great to see. But, I expect good things from this team going forward because I like the team. I like what all 3 players bring to this squad, and I think they are better. It's another team where I think they are better than the record that they've shown.
Agreed.
They've just had a rough go at it in some of these series.
It was the name of the game for me when we were doing the analysis for our first match after we saw the schedule. Name of the game is potential. Today. And Vitali, Volts, Wildfire, Gino, Dark, Large. Good opportunity here to showcase it and show why you're better than the bottom of the current leaderboard. As Dark going to get demoed and Volts back towards the other side. Gino going to return the favor and let Large try and take it peacefully out of his own half, but rarely do things ever go so smoothly in the corners of Rocket League as Vitali trying to find Volts. It's actually going to skip across the box, and he is just not quite ready for that one to come at him as quick as it did, and the 1-goal lead will stay right where it is.
Be happy that it stays that way. Stockton, that's their 4th shot that they've generated. 3 of them have been from Large. They're having to shuffle around here in the midfield. It's been very tough for them to break down Durham the way they want to. But this could be an opportunity here for Dark, using all the boost to get up to it, but a good cut from Wildfire gets it away.
Gino wanted that boost in the midfield, though. He was just too concerned with playing the map and not wanting to be caught out of position later, that it's kind of allowed them to clear the field, and now that fight for possession is happening at the midfield line is Wildfire. He's got a couple of options. He's going to choose Vitali towards the corner, and Dark right there for it, and that's that clear angle that's so tough. If you can get that one going up the pitch instead of at the ceiling, you're going to find yourself in good shape one way or another. Stockton able to push it down on the orange half as we approach 1 minute remaining.
Wildfire, he's pretty good at that. He had to sacrifice his life, but he's pretty good at beating that first man. And that type of power gives a lot of agency to an offense. And right now, there's a lot of pressure coming out from Stockton. But a good save allows Vitali to pick up boost and head downfield as he looks for options but can't hold on to it.
And it was great presence of mind there from Gino as well, not trying to force the offense there, considering the guy behind him got demoed. It's what's allowed Stockton to stay in a favorable position here. And even with that ball rolling towards their net, they know they've got all the time in the world, but the clock is against him at this point. Under a minute, 40 seconds remaining. Vitali fires one towards net, double commit, and that means Dark has to come in and bail him out of a bad spot. Vitali going to play keep away here and dump it off towards his own corner. Look at Dark trying to get pretty with that approach. A little awkward, but one way or the other, offense is offense. And Large actually doesn't feel confident enough trying to jam the challenge through. Opts to take the better approach from a different angle. And 20 seconds remaining. Stockton, do you have something that can break this Durham defense? Vitali says, I think not.
It's got to be now. They might get one last attempt downfield if they can get out of their own corner. Dark will have Gino on the far side. This is the opportunity, but great defense from Vitali. Is Large also getting shut down. Durham. Well, they're going to have to field maybe one more as that one will finally do it. Durham coming out on top here in game one.
Talk about that challenge going about as well as you could hope.
Yeah.
But that shove from Durham with that big clear and that big block at the midfield line that forced Stockton to play it from their own corner. Big difference maker there right at the end of regulation. And 1-0, good enough. Rarely is a single goal good enough to get the job done, but Durham played pretty good defense. At the same time, it didn't really feel like Stockton had too much firepower, right? I mean, they have, 7 shots there, but maybe 1 or 2 of them were really like, oh, man, Durham, got to make a save. The rest was kind of just, we hold possession, but we're not really applying the pressure.
Yeah, like you said, there's some credit to the Durham defense holding strong, but we're put on the back foot. But a lot of it was weak offense from Stockton. Sure, they had pressure, but weren't really able to put anything together. And I think that comes down to the challenge game in the midfield for Durham. Like we even saw, even at that last second, right, when Stockton were trying to get down the field, Vitali with a big stop, and I think it was Wildfire to also follow up. But they've been doing that all game. They have disrupted Stockton at the midfield line every single time they move downfield. And that's what really makes Durham such a strong team, and why we feel like they have potential is they do a great job of reading the play as it approaches their side of the field, and they do a good job of breaking it up.
Oh my gosh, and Stockton just trying to change the script up a little bit, up the pace, play the real fast transition game and see if you can catch them out of position, but who's to say if that will be enough to get the job done. Wildfire just going to skip one off the hood, and Gino going to break that pass up. Large trying to make Volts freeze and actually pulls Dark out of position, and this is going to be a good spot here as Large gives ground, and they are so glad that Volts could not square that one up. Dumps it off to Gino, and going to have a fight here at the midfield line.
What a pinch from Wildfire. And again, that presence in the midfield allowing Durham to have more attack. And here's Volts just got to put on target, put it wide. Gino was there. I don't know if he could have made the save, but Stockton get out.
Huge break for Stockton as Dark finally going to break the pressure for a moment. Volts just forced to dump it off into space, and Dark, I think he didn't realize how much time he had there, and he was forced to give up on the play because he had a very poor takeoff initially. And Gino trying to play keep away, but Dark just got bumped, and so Stockton going to have to play it back from their own side. Awkward approach.
Still missing that offense from Stockton. Not seeing a lot of chances. This is the 3rd or 4th ball they've thrown downfield at net, and it'll count for a shot. This could be it, though. Dark can get around it off the crossbar. And that close again for Stockton. As Durham get out, and a good flick from Vitali. Found some space in the backfield, and Stockton are able to slow it down for just a moment. Vitali. A second touch. Down to Wildfire. Shot on target. Stopped by Gino.
Good job, Gino. Not feeling too threatened by that approach from Wildfire. He knew he had the time to go and read it, but still a scary one. Pinched towards the net. There's a real scary opportunity for Stockton. Well defended by Volts. There's the bump on Wildfire, and it's off the bar and going to just skip away. Oh, Stockton, now you're doing the hard work, and you're not getting rewarded for it. That's rough.
5 shots for Stockton. Maybe a 6 down. Large, you have to put it away. That's one you can't miss. And Stockton do get the first.
Can see the defense here. Vitali was hoping to ride out into the corner and go grab his boost, and that got taken away by Large, which means he's going to be in the perfect position to catch that ball as it comes off the top part of the field there above the net. Boost steal paying dividends for Stockton out in front early.
They finally do break through, and they had a couple great setups. After I mentioned that they were throwing the ball down the field, all of a sudden the offense really came together. Now a second opportunity. Large, but it's straight into Wildfire.
Oh, no. Never mind. I thought that transition was so good. Like, Wildfire had the pass across. It looked like it was going right back to him. I got ahead of myself. I was getting excited for that one.
I mean, it was possible there for Durham. A good demo here from Gino might give another chance to Stockton. Durham, all of a sudden, we were complimenting the way they were working in the midfield and even the pressure that they had, but all of a sudden, it's been flipped on their head. They have been feeling Stockton downfield, and it has been tough from the breakout.
But Gino and Large just kind of ran into each other, and Stockton had to give up ground, but now it's one-on-one. Dark trying to catch Volts in a jump, and look at him cut that flip off at the goal line with a wave dash to give himself more control on his approach, and That was a beautiful play from Volts, and he had a little short hop. Vitaly and Wildfire smash into each other, and that was it.
That was the chance for Durham, especially with a great pass off the back wall. It caught Stockton out. Still time here for Durham. Wildfire is going to push it to the backboard once again. Volts looking for some help to put it across, and Vitaly was there. It's Stockton holding strong.
Oh, wow. Surprised Large was able to wiggle his way out of getting demoed right there in his own corner and force Durham to come at them from their own side. Vitaly basically flicked that one to the moon. Couldn't reach it again, but one way or the other, they're going to find themselves on offense. Wildfire popped off the wall for Volts. It's a little too slow, giving Dark just enough time to make it back and make the block. Pinch out in front. Large just going to play it to get the heck away from me. And Stockton able to clear the field.
And Durham now playing a little bit more loose than they were earlier, and that's not necessarily a big deal, but for them, free ball off the back wall is not going to convert.
Stop taking it away from each other. I'm getting irritated now. It's just they're right there, and if they can just iron it out, they're going to be in a better spot, but Large going to lift one towards the goal. 41 seconds, 2-goal lead. That could be enough.
And this one, I think, is coming down to just the number of chances that Stockton have had. Now 10 shots, 6 for Large for himself. And with that many chances, you know that Stockton are going to convert with 41 seconds left with 2 goals up. Stockton looking to close this game out and tie up the series. But the tally was already up. Couldn't put it away.
Wildfire as well, trying to keep the offense going. They might have something here, but that pass going to be a little too slow despite it staying on the Stockton half. Not sure that this one really has the steam, and indeed Vitaly forced to give ground. Dark and Large maybe just trying to put the pressure on that defense as Gino's just going to let it roll. He's in full time waste mode. Volts to Vitaly, denied by Dark, and you can say goodnight, game 2, Stockton. And how about a much better game? Spending all of the post-game 1 saying you got to bring more firepower. Well, they brought it here as Gino going to close this game out with a save.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start in that first game from Stockton. And, maybe we were thinking, well, this is the Stockton that we've seen all season, but really turning it around here and showing the offensive firepower that they have, but also I think the possession game as well really started to show for Stockton, something that they didn't have in game 1. And I think it started to expose Durham a little bit, where I think Durham abandoned the game plan a little bit and started to just throw it downfield and hope for the best.
Well, Durham had the looks. That's the bad part. I mean, they got those ones where they absolutely caught Stockton out of position on defense. I mean, that one where they just ran right into each other at the top of the box when it was a clean look at the net. Another one right at the end where it's just finding this extra touch on the wall when you could have just as easily rotated out, let the guy behind you set it up differently or take the shot on target. It's just some unfortunate mishaps in communication, I think, took that game away from Durham, or at least giving them a chance to go to overtime potentially. So kind of their own worst enemies, I think, in game 2. And Stockton, don't get it wrong, absolutely played a great game, not to be taken that away from them in any sense. It's just Durham's the one that took it away from themselves.
And to be fair, I think Stockton probably could have had a few more goals in that game as well. They spoiled a couple of their chances. So both teams maybe having opportunities that slip away, and a couple touches here from Volts stirs up the defense of Stockton, and that one's still dangerous. Large is able to poke away. Now Dark chasing Volts, and a good effort by Volts to spoil that chance.
Monster defensive stand from Volts right there. I mean, you got the guy bearing down on you, the dribble that can go anywhere, and that was a scary situation to find yourself in, and he handled it with absolute perfection. Large looking for Dark here. It's an awkward one. If elects to just see if it'll drop into the net. A lot of space given from Stockton, and a little bit of weird hiccup there somewhere in the communication or the rotation that allows the pressure to get relieved from Durham's half. And we'll see if the Durham Lords have anything,
Gino
despite this long clear from Dark. Shot from Gino. Well defended from Vitaly. He was really kind of camped out on the goal line there. Large trying to jam one in, and Volts right on it. Gino follow up off the bar. Vitaly going to have a lot of time to work with here, and free ball now for Wildfire.
Couple of chances there for Stockton, and Wildfire doing well. He's going to go under the challenge. Can he dunk it through? Huge defensive stand from Gino to get that one out, and now Vitali, he owned gold, and Gino gets credit for it. Stockton in the lead.
Oh, Vitali, he hit the brakes. I mean, Gino, that's the last time he touches the ball right there.
Oh, man.
And Vitali is just trying to demo Gino, to be quite honest. And it's just, he smacked Gino. Let's not get it twisted. He let him have it, but not enough to demo him. Just shy of supersonic, it would seem. And he ended up putting a rocket on his own net. Dark trying to jam one under the crossbar on the ensuing kickoff, and no dice. So early lead for Stockton, and we'll see if it lasts.
Gino's letting him know. It was the Batmobile that allowed him to put that one away.
You can't destroy the Batman that easily.
It's indestructible. Vitali looking for a dunk, and he does get it here. Durham trying to answer. Steal. Nobody up here. You see that ball floating way above the box, and no one able to chase after it on the Durham side. Stockton.
Nice.
Easier for them on defense, but here's the opportunity. Wildfire also chasing large, but this one's just going to go across.
Yeah.
Uncontested, or at least not able to put it on target. And for Durham, maybe another spoiled opportunity.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was just
my goodness. Hello.
Get the ice cream scoop out. Wildfire digging deep here for this one.
My man took the whole tub with this scoop. Oh my goodness.
Man, it's not often you see someone dip all the way into the middle of the net and then just fit it right under the crossbar like that. That's a shot.
Wow, you really don't see a flip reset like that. Usually it's just that extra little touch over the next man. That was over the whole defense there as
Durham on the roller coaster ride to get that one.
What a way to respond back.
Absolutely needed it, considering the frustration of the previous goal, but now Gino has a chance to return the favor, and Wildfire out there early. Dark now in the one-on-one, and look at him cut the rotation, spotted the opportunity, and took it. Broke up a nice transition chance for Durham. Double commit here. Large, a tough angle. Look at that setup, though, back into the middle. Dark, how do you get this one on target? Decides to enter into just by time mode. It's not worth taking the risk and allowing a fast transition. And dare I say, that's the right play, because now Dark has to handle that one. He knew he had no chance.
Yeah.
Boomer, top left corner.
This is a real tough situation for Dark. He gets the boost, but the problem is the play's developing so fast, he can't get to the challenge, which means he has to react to the shot. And with that type of placement on the back shoulder, upper corner, what are you going to do as a defender?
All his faith in Large is just like, please hit this ball. And as soon as he missed, he knew he was pretty much dead in the water. Still, got to put that pressure on the attackers, make him hit a nice shot. Durham able to come back, find two quick ones. And just over 90 seconds here for Stockton, and Wildfire's back, making big challenges at the midfield line to stop him from breaking out. Tally. Delay mode. Large able to get a piece of one, and look at Dark trying to rush it down, but again, there comes Wildfire. Gino going to dump it off to Dark. Is he going to go for Large, or how about the net? Volts, no problem. He's definitely in time and in position. Large trying to get a much quicker pass going. Came out a little soft, though. And precious time wasting, but still plenty of time for a lot of opportunities for Stockton.
A lot of opportunities, and they're going to need it. And I'm just looking at the scoreboard right now. I mean, Dark's sitting there with 68 points, and I just don't think that bodes well for Stockton. He needs to get touches on the ball. He's a huge catalyst for their offense. And not only that, but the individual playmaking ability that he has. For him to not get touches here in this game is detrimental. And you're seeing that now. Here's Volts with a shot. Durham sitting in the lead by one with 40 seconds left to play.
Oh, Dark is going to have a little room to work with here. And Vitali, the timing on that approach on the wall was just beautiful. Volts had to find some kind of a touch there. Stockton was going to score. Dark with a chance to get one off the wall for Large. He's not in position. He was playing far side. Gino trying to get it back into the mix, and everyone's going to have to reposition themselves here for Stockton. And there's no way to know if they really had a quality goal-scoring opportunity, but the positioning definitely did them no favors. And now, coming up on the last couple of chances. Only 16 boosts in the tank for Dark. He's got Large lined up. This is going to get skimmed off the nose. Vitali right on it. Last opportunity. Gino with a floater towards the net. Large cannot get the demo, and Volts is going to drop it to the floor. Durham going to win another one.
Yeah, and this is a huge one, especially with the goal that Wildfire had. Massive win here for Durham. going up in the series once again.
I want to see that one again.
I do want to see that replay again. That was a monster scoop on the ball and a well-deserved win because, again, I think Stockton really didn't have a lot of offense. And it felt like, okay, yeah, it's like, okay, you look at the shots and you say, what are you talking about, Corell? He had 9 shots. But, none of them really felt that dangerous. And the ones that did, Durham were able to make the save. They had 7 saves. So for Durham, this was a great game and another good test for them on the defensive side of things. But Stockton, I just don't think are throwing their best at the defense of Durham. I just feel like there's something happening once they get past that midway point. That last attempt where they were just kind of popping the ball over and over and the touches were too far. It just felt awkward when Stockton's on offense.
It's those continuation touches for Stockton, right? It's good enough job to break out, definitely get some pressure going, maybe a few registered shots on net. But it's when they really are trying to string together that pass play to their teammate where they're just not hitting that ball with the finesse that's required. It's going a little offline, maybe it's a little soft, or it's too close to the defense. That's why you're seeing Wildfire come out there and make those big blocks and break up some of those transitions for Stockton when they could be in great positions. It's just that execution of finding their teammates is not quite there. And Large, why did Large just drive it in the corner? Hang on, we got to look at this again.
He had full boost.
He's back. What did he think was going to... Oh, he just misread it. He thought it was going to bounce at a different angle.
Yep, he thought that was going to bounce more towards him. Instead, came right back out. And it's just a misread from Large. And Durham gets somewhat of a free goal here in the first 30 seconds.
Sometimes it happens. It's a surprisingly deceptive view playing from your own net with that ball coming down, perpendicular to your point of view in that corner. Those corner bounces can get scary real fast. And unfortunately, it comes at the worst time for Large right there as Dark is trying to score a flip reset. He almost caught Wildfire out, but the shot coming from way too far away. Large takes the opposite approach and rips one top left corner and pulls out a couple defenders.
Big clear for Durham here. Stockton once again racking up a few shots. 4 already to the 1 of Durham.
Oh, he got the boost, though. That big miss. Chance for Stockton, and Wildfire again, just able to squeeze that ball right down a seam. Gino working his way through a couple people, 2-on-1. And Large, he forced Vitali out, and what a touch from Gino. Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. And with no boost, too. Vitali went for the fake challenge. And I don't even know if Gino cared. He was going for the flick. That was really his best play with no boost.
Yeah.
So it was tough to generate power to get the pass across without telegraphing where you wanted to go. So instead, using that fake challenge from Vitali, bought him enough time to throw it to the backboard. And great follow-up by Large. Stockton back in it.
It pulls out Vitali, too, because he has to react in case that shot's on target since he went for the fake challenge. And the fact that it's off the backboard means that's a nice, easy one for Stockton. They find an equalizer. Gino up nice and early, but here comes Volts for the second chance. Floater into the top right-hand side. What timing from Volts out of the midfield.
Yeah, good finish here from Volts. And Gino did his best, but that touch off the ceiling is really what does you in. Straight up and down. If it was a little bit farther out, there'd be more time for Stockton to react, and Durham couldn't just directly take the shot on target. Unfortunate situation, and good shooting there from Volts to capitalize on that small gap.
Ooh, and trying to keep that pressure going, getting real aggressive. Coming off the ceiling, Vitali not in the best position. Dark one-on-one with Wildfire. He's going for the flip reset and Wildfire. Another one, I should say. Just able to tip it around a guy to make a huge delaying touch. And he might not be scoring a lot of the goals, but he's been a defensive playmaker. Midfield, goal line, it doesn't matter as he will put another one and get a savior medal.
Durham really trying to close out this series here. You talked about it coming into the matchup. You're going to separate each other here, right, to play each other, and they're both sitting at the bottom. It is telling about whose season is going to end up near the bottom of the Eastern Conference and who has the opportunity to grow as Volts puts another one away. Durham up 3-1.
Twice in one game. Look at that bump from Wildfire, and Large was thinking about it, but he saw Volts out of the corner of his eye, and again, It's all about that placement from Volts. He was willing to take a little bit off it to make sure he put that ball in the right spot and didn't hit it off the bar. Beautiful shot.
Here comes Stark. Second touch. Can't get back to it. 2 minutes left to play here for Stockton. Certainly doable. They've racked up 11 shots in this game, so they are generating some sort of chance downfield. They've got to be a bit more dangerous.
Last man.
Yeah. They've got to beat that last man and be a little bit more dangerous. This could be it for Dark. Oh, could it be good? No, Volts turns it away. Gino to follow up,
there we go.
That'll do it for Stockton.
It forces Gino to hit the perfect shot, but Batmobile never lies when he has this look. I've seen that. It basically looks like kind of looking down the edge of a knife when Gino goes up for shots like that. You just know he is dead in line with where he wants to put that ball. Get Stockton within one. Ball coming right to him, but he missed the boost. Free time to recover here.
That's a massive goal for Stockton. Ooh. It could be another one. Great pass. Woo! Oh, the save from Volts. Large trying to salvage the play, but the defense too strong for Durham. And what a way to read that passing play across the box. As Durham still trying to fight out. It has been tough for them here in the first 20 seconds of this kickoff.
You can see Dart going for those demos on that Durham goal line, trying to remove Wildfire from the equation. He's been such a nuisance for them in so many aspects. Large, a little floater for Dark. This is going to be tough. Volt's able to break it up, and Large trying to buy time, but he really doesn't have that good of a look, and now it's just going to sit here in the corner for a little bit as Stockton, I think they're going to start being overly aggressive despite having so much time. Pass to Gino, back to Dark, bumped by Vitali, and Volts has a free clear here and kind of fumbles the transition and lets Stockton back in on it.
Vitali crushed Dark there to make sure that he could get the touch on, and Durham trying to hold on here in the final 50 seconds, but it's not without Stockton throwing everything at him.
Gino to Dart, down into the middle. It's too far for Large. That's what we were talking about in the middle between this game and the previous one. It's just that continuation touch, finding your teammates. If that pass is clean and right on Large, they got a great chance to score, but instead they've wasted a good chunk of time off the clock.
Oh,
Gino comes up empty. Vitality twists the knife. 4-2.
I'm not even sure what Gino was thinking here. There was no way he was getting to that ball on the bounce. He would have had to play it farther off the wall. And he knows better than that. And for Stockton, devastation here in the final 22 seconds. They had almost, you felt like they were going to generate the offense required to make the comeback. But that might do it. Oh, Volts could have put it away. 14 seconds left. It's going to take Stockton down the field here to get one back.
Jeez, they're going to need something right about now. And again, Wildfire, that big octane has been thorn in Stockton's side the entire series, and that is going to do it. Durham going to knock off Stockton in 4.
Wow.
They will take the lead when you're the bottom of the conference. But what a game it was. I mean, all three players at different points in time making huge plays. And Stockton, here's the name of the game, 14 shots, still don't win.
And, you know, there was questions about what's the deal with Stockton? Why are they having such a bad season? And I think you saw it here in this game. It's not without generating the offense that we saw. It's that they can't convert. And they did not convert. They had 14 shots tonight here in this game alone, in this last game, and they only put away 2 of them. That's not a very good shooting percentage, and with the amount of opportunities they have, they could not put it away. And for Durham, I mean, that's credit to their defense for sure, but I think it is a look inside of Stockton, inside the Stockton, if you will, and see
Stockton.
Yeah, and you can see what the issue is just on the surface level. I'm sure maybe there's some deeper levels to this, but on the surface level, it just feels like they didn't convert when they needed to.
Yep, and you got to love it. Well played over on the other side, of course, Durham, when they needed to knock something down. Volts, especially in that last one, put away shot after shot. They get a well-deserved win. And that means we get to move on into our next game. So if you continue to watch CRL, which I hope you do, you're going to see a good matchup. Apologies. North Texas versus UT Arlington when we come back. You're watching CRL.